line up at once, so I wanted to try and catch him here. And I'm trying to turn off background music. We're not going to do background music today. Oh, what's up, Good? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Welcome in. You all are ready to start whenever. I'm going to go over the decks really quick, but I know it's probably pretty late for you, so if you're ready to go, you should go for it. But we are in two different B bracket games today. This first one is going to be between Gued and Kveld. Again, names online are tough. This is in the first round of the losers bracket, but the first thing I want to say with this is these loser bracket games will probably be even more intense than what we're seeing in the other brackets. One, because there's a good chance people are have saved their kind of better decks, or maybe their more reliable decks to as their second, because this is a survival tournament. Also, everything is on the line here, so going to be playing their brains out. So hopefully this is a really awesome game. And then the second one is going to be Aurora versus Nova up in round 4 of the winners bracket. So really excited for both of these games. Let's take a look really quick at the decks. Welcome, Sizox. Things are going good. I'm excited to get to catch a few of these games today. It's been fun. It's been very tough to kind of schedule time to get these, but the ones we've watched so far have been awesome. So we've got, let me check whose decks are who's here really quick. Kveld is on Felipe, and then Gued is on this one. Don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not going to worry about it, but we've got just a lot of mass mutation value here. Lots of creature control up at 19. Lots of amber control. We do have a Mark of Dis with 2 gateways. Infernus, Brabble, all the good Dis stuff there with the Essence Scale. Lots of good destroyed effects with the Essence Scale here. Logos, plenty of efficiency, but also a lot of opposition research. Again, just adding to that creature control and just kind of slowing the game down on the opponent's side with some Q-Mechs and the Academy training for lots of draw, along with those Lethalogicas, which are super nice for being able to pull Effervescent Principle if you really need to take a Logos turn for the efficiency. Oh, somebody said... Oh, game is up. Okay. Just want to... Sorry about that all. We'll take a look at the decks again afterwards, and we'll have a lot more information after that. But should be a really good game. And then we've got the AOA on the other side here with an Iron Obelisk and the Drummer Knot, Ganger Chieftain combo, decent amount of archiving with the double helper bots, but then also the Lash and Library and Rustringuntus on the disc side here. So a lot of this creature control is probably going to make this disc really hard to fire. I thank you both competitors for changing the time. We did push this game back just a little bit so that this stream would work for this. And then we do have, like I said, the second game happening at... not sure how to handle this one. Seems like they're gonna go for it anyways, but we'll let them figure this out. Welcome not tonight to the stream here. I forgot Kveld is a sloppy lab worker. That's fun to have all of you in here. I know you all are very good at watching each other's games and stuff. Very supportive team. Always fun. I cannot choose sides yet. Already some trash talking going on. So early library for Kveld over here. Again, just going to get that archiving machine going to try and set up for some of these really big plays. We didn't get to look at this deck too much. There's not a true board clear in Brobnar, so to set up that Ganger Chieftain Drummer Knot might be a little bit tougher than in some matches. Really have to play around those opposition researchers as well. but should be really interesting to see if we get a lot of value out of this library. I didn't check. I don't think we have any artifact control. No, so those artifacts will be definitely a problem in this game. But there's also artifacts on gued's side that are going to be really tough too. Amphora and the Curiosaurus are very strong against a deck that is not doing really any capturing. Oh wow, and getting that archiving going fast here on both sides. We've got the no, I guess that's just on kveld's side with the Eureka. Sorry, get myself oriented around what's happening in this game. I need to do this now because I know the next game both players are going to be playing really fast, so I have to get my words flowing here. The Sloppy Labwork team does have a lot of time to practice and play and watch each other, but I'm sure there's plenty of jobs and stuff, remote jobs that help play into that. But so we do see a little bit slower return there from gued, just the effervescent principle reaping with the munchling, getting rid of the standardized testing. Again, this deck is not really hurting for creature control, but standardized does help slow down some of this Brobnar if it comes out. It does also get rid of those helper bots before just no life. I didn't want to say it for you, all right, but it's only Keyforge. But killing those helper bots before the Archimedes comes down. But again, really not having seen any of these decks before, it's hard to know exactly what the play is here. But we do see the early Hysteria and Restringuntus locking out Saurian. We haven't seen a Saurian turn yet from gued, so that could be pretty tough. Pretty tough to deal with, but again, there's so much creature control in Dis. It's a really tough call to find anything that's going to really work there. But the more important fact, I think, is that this archiving is just keeps going. So we're at 4 right now. Again, my guess is Kveld is archiving the Brobnar, but without having seen the deck play out, it's hard to know exactly what the game plan is on either of these. Obviously, the Saurian is very crucial to gued's deck, just getting those artifacts going, especially with the Senator Brachus and stuff. You kind of have to... Kveld has to deal with that kind of stuff once it hits the board. But there's also plenty of creature control on Kveld's side too. So this is just going to be probably a brutal game. Just small boards most of the time because everyone's going to be just kind of punching and blowing up the board all the time. So we'll see how it goes. We do see the Cutthroat Research, so a lot of some of these situational cards getting thrown out early. Both decks have plenty of efficiency, so probably just going more for just trying to get that initial tempo, initial advantage. We'll see what goes under the Jargoggle here. It's always a really interesting card, especially when you have Bouncing Deathquark and stuff. You can set up a lot of crazy plays. Relentless Assault, not sure if that's what you're hoping to find there or not. With a Wild Wormhole, we did have Lollop come out from under the Jargoggle, so probably put that under there just in case Jargoggle was getting bounced or purged. I don't know if this deck does, really. Anyways, not a super crucial one out there, especially with the Relentless Assault already gone. That's really rough. What's really interesting is that this interaction, I don't actually believe worked the way Relentless Assault has now been reworded in the new rulebook. I believe Lollop the Titanic should have actually been able to fight there. Because it's one at a time, and so if that creature comes out right after Jargoggle is destroyed, you then select another creature to ready and fight with. So I believe we should have gotten a Reap there from Lollop. Doesn't matter a whole lot because we did just get the Flex on Lollop for a cool 5 Amber, and then some more Brobnar creatures coming down. Really interesting to see the Grumpus Tamer just played instead of just getting thrown as a rock from Rock Hurling Giant, but sorry, I know there's a lot of chat going on. I'm trying to keep up with what's happening in the game. There's some cool stuff. We do see the Amphora coming down, which will hopefully start eating away at this really big Amber lead that Kveld has. Mutagenic Serum is a very notable card as well for Felipe not having any artifact control. Is that right? We do have a remote access, so there could be some little bit going on here, but I think we saw the remote access earlier on in the game because I did see that Soul Fiddle get tapped. I think that came out. Yeah, right here. So the remote access is already gone. So already a pretty big scary board of dinos getting put out here for Kveld to deal with. But we do have, again, that early key, and we still have the Lash, and now the Iron Obelisk too is going to be, that shouldn't be too impactful again with the amount of creature control we should see from both of these decks, but we'll just see how things progress. These wards are not ideal for Kveld, but we'll see what the answer is. Archimedes is down right now, so there is the possibility of just like throwing a lot of stuff into this board to try and re-archive it, but the ideal play, I'm sure, is the Helper Bot into Bouncing Death Quark, so you can just re-archive those Helper Bots and get just tons of value there. The hard thing is the Helper Bots don't let you proc the Rock Hurling Giant because you have to play things instead of discarding them. But this Rock Hurling Giant could be really, really helpful for dealing with these wards and starring creatures. Interesting to note, we do have actual check here from Gued's deck with the Brachus down. Definitely something that Kveld can deal with by just fighting, but considering we just went into Brobnar last turn, probably doesn't want to do that again. We do have a Dis turn with a Life Ward down, and again, no artifact control on Gued's side. That Life Ward is going to be super disruptive. And again, these Dis turns are just really, really getting that value. Okay, so we see the unlocked gateway. We did get the Lash to stop the Forge, correct? Did they forget to Lash? They did forget the Lash. I wonder if they wanted that Amber spent. We're just playing too fast. That seems... That's really interesting. They did get to archive a couple things off of... Just two things. Just the Yerk and the Lollop were archived off the Archimedes, and then whatever the library archived, but I don't... Yeah, they did forget the Lash. That's brutal. Interesting. Yeah, just probably playing a little bit fast there or whatever. Forgets to do the Lash because the gateway is Omega. So if you forget a artifact proc, you're done there. We'll see if it ends up being super impactful. Again, just kind of the way the board state was left, there's a good chance they just reap to check here anyways. And there's not a ton of Amber control in Felipe. Did I not say the Omega? Sorry. Again, I'm going a little bit fast. But yeah, just caught him there. And then again, these UMEX just getting tons of value, even off that gateway, since they did not have Amber on them. They just went back into archives. And this is actually a really, really scary board. And so this is where, again, it's hard to know if it would have mattered because you'd have a turn that looked very similar to this round anyways. Even if you hadn't forged the key here, there's going to be a lot of Amber gain and just a lot of threats. Ludo's still on the board as well, so another board clear doesn't really help you. What options do we actually have left for Kveld for dealing with this board? Hysteria is gone, Unlock Gateway is gone. We do have the Life Ward, so we can hold the board from getting bigger for a turn, but Relentless Assault is also gone. It's really just the Bouncing Death Quark, because we did not see that come out early. But we do have an unarchived Helper Bot, and the Archimedes is gone now, so you can't even get really the really strong value there. But almost cycled through the deck anyway, so we are going to get back to some of that value. But this is really scary. We're back in check here. 4 Gued already with this Brachus down, and 4 Amber on creatures. So we'll see what Kveld can do to combat this. They have a lot of options, obviously, in Dis and Brobnar. Do go for the Logos turn again to get that Helper Bot down, and I would imagine we see the Bouncing Death Quark here, but if it's in these bottom 3, that would be really brutal. Let's make sure we're keeping up with things. Oh, we did have the opposition research there too. And we haven't seen the Gangernaut or Drummer Chieftain either, so Yeah, we do see the Bouncing Death Quark, and the Life Ward comes down, so not going to be refilling this board. It's probably a little bit sad. You maybe want to play those on a turn to stop these Q-Mechs coming down, but at this point, you just got to claw back some of that board presence. We do see an unfortunate discard there of the Bramo. I'm sure you're hoping to see either that Drummernaut or Ganger Chieftain go there, with only 6 cards left in deck and hand. Essence Scale comes down, very pipped up Essence Scale. Lots of captures happening here, but just taking it a little bit slow here. A little bit more of the tempo on gued side, but I would not be surprised if we see the Ganger Chieftain Drummernaut come down, but they'll be coming down without much support. That Bramo is still significant because it would have dealt with the Q-Mechs on both sides here. Instead, right now, the Ganger Chieftain Drummernaut combo would have to fight 3 times before it can actually start reaping. But you don't have a whole lot else left. I'm not sure what else is left in deck. It seems like probably some more disc stuff. We haven't seen a whole lot. Yeah, we've seen an okay amount. But I would imagine some Brobnar and some disc left in hand for the most part. Titan Mechanic. Have we seen Titan Mechanic yet? No, Titan Mechanic could still come down too, but that's not really helping you this turn. The disc is tempting just to keep the archiving going and to cycle the deck. Yeah. So that's where we're going. It does pull the archives though, so the Yerk is gone. I guess there's 2 Yerks, so we could see a second Yerk coming down. Just again, oh no, both Yerks are gone. I wonder what was in archives there. Another Not Finished With You, maybe? I guess the Not Finished With You here is really, really strong because you could just put a bunch of this Logos value, the Helper Bots and the Researchers and Archimedes, back in your deck and draw through them all right now. But I have to imagine there's not much else in hand besides those Brobnar cards, and you probably want to go to those next turn. Do you see a banish on that Munchling there to put it in archives and get that amber off of it? We do see the Not Finished With You, so it'll be really interesting to see how many creatures we pull from this. It could just be a bunch of Brobnar too if you're already planning on putting down the Gangernaut combo. Then something like Bramo and stuff is just going to help you get there faster. Same with Rock Hurling Giant. So this is probably a pretty scary turn for gued to face, especially not having anything on board that you can hit with a Mark of Dis, which I don't think we've seen gone yet. Yeah, Mark of Dis is still very much live. What else do we have here? Brabble could be annoying against that Drummernaut combo, but I don't think you care because you kind of put them on a clock to deal with it. We get a fair game to burst up to 11. What is in this? So we reveal a Spoils of Battle. We got Console, Curia, Citizen Strix, and Ludo. So 4 more Amber there for Kveld. And then we do see Titan Mechanic and Unlock Gateway. Am I missing something? Where were the... So one of them got archived. Am I missing one of the Brobnar cards? Did Drummernaut or Ganger Chieftain get played earlier? Because one of those should have been in hand, and the other one got archived there. But maybe I missed it. It never should be, but I feel like I've never had a 5... I guess it was 4 Amber specifically from the finding the Saurian cards in hand, but very strong. And the Unlock Gateway there too, right at the end. How did that come back in? There's only one Unlock Gateway in here, right? Did I miss a... Oh, the ZYX Researcher must have caught it, huh? Man, so much going on. Just trying to keep up with it, but they know what they're doing. Yeah, okay, so we archived it there. I totally missed that. Very, very strong. We do have an okay follow-up with that Saurian board. This Prefectus Ludo doing some work here, but I mean, the Curia is basically turned off with no creatures on the board for Kveld. Still not getting to check either for gued is pretty rough. So we'll see what they can do. Their deck still has plenty of strong stuff, but I can imagine a big Brobnar board coming here hurts things a lot. Let's see what we got on the Not Finished With You. I kind of missed that. Helper Bot into Restringuntus. Sorry, not finished with you into Helper Bot, Restringuntus, second Helper Bot, and Lollop. Interesting. I guess we're going to see what they do with that right now. We do have a wild wormhole for Sound the Horns. What does Sound the Horns get us? Grumpus Tamer. Nothing too crazy. We do see the Ganger Chieftain come down. Fighting off fighting off the Ludo. And then we see the Restringuntus calling Saurian. So this board is dead, but I mean, you have the Essence Scale, which works super great here with the Curiosaurus, because you can just start loading up this Titan mechanic with a bunch of Amber. But you have to deal with this Restringuntus, right? You have basically a one-turn clock to do that. Otherwise, they're going to start pushing check and getting tons of advantage here. Interesting decision there. I guess there was no way to get this on the flank to get into check, and that would have given Gued check anyways. But that is also something we could see start putting pressure on if that gets on the flank here. So we go into Dis on Gued's side. Not a ton of creature control left in your Dis. I guess we have another gateway, don't we? And still that Mark of Dis, so probably see a Mark of Dis turn here. We do see the Essence Scale play to start blowing stuff up and just getting more value off the Shrix. Mark of Dis can only hit into Brobnar right now, which is probably not much of a problem for Gued, or for Kveld. So smart there, but Gateway still hurts. We'll see if they go for it or not. Do get the Infernus. There are pips in there, but you gotta wonder if you start hitting your own stuff just for higher value. I don't know if they have... Ooh, actually not many pips at all in Gued's side, so that Infernus kind of needs to have ammo in Kveld's deck. Okay, so we do see the Mark of Dis into the Ganger Chieftain, so have to go Brobnar on Kveld's next turn. And we'll see, yeah, there's the Gateway too. And this will be a couple Amber stolen from the Curia play. So definitely not a bad follow-up there from Gued, but again, if we see this... oh wow, and more coming. Brabble and Inspector, so also not stuff you want to hit with the Brobnar combo. But, oh wait, you can't do the Brobnar combo because the Ganger Chieftain's gone. Yikes, that is a really big turnaround for Gued there. Very, very strong. Still going to have to wade through kind of this stalling that we have on Kveld's side, but yeah, way more in command of the game now. And then with a recycle here too, we have access to a lot more of those same options. And we've got 3 cards in archive. I'm trying to remember when those hit the archive. Oh, I guess it's going to be the 2 Q-Mechs and then something else, but Shrix comes back down, and we have the Ludo here as well, which it's hard to know if playing Ludo with the Curia down is always kind of hard to know what's the best way to do, because now you can basically kill these and the Amber just gets destroyed instead of going onto your creatures. But we do have, yeah, big switch in momentum here with Gued at 6 Amber, check for the 3rd key, and Kveld with his 0 Amber at the moment. And a board that you kind of have to deal with, but are going to have a hard time dealing with because it's really going to slow you down. Just making sure we're good for time here. I think we're going to be about perfect. The other game is supposed to start in about 8 minutes. And I'm sure they'll be willing to hold off for a minute or two just while we get this finished up. But this has been an awesome game so far. There's a lot going on, so sorry if I'm missing some stuff. Again, I'm not sure when that archive happens, but... Oh, awesome. Thanks, Aurora. Go back into Brobnar for Kveld. So I guess you can do some cool stuff, getting some Grumpuses here, and then do some combos with... Oh, it chose to fight instead. So no War Grumpuses coming out. And then this is an interesting call here, because you're going to get the Iron Obelisk off the drum or not, but Grumpus Tamer just getting healed is nothing super crazy. So very stally turn there for Kveld. Probably just searching for some answers now. They don't have a ton of ways to destroy Amber or steal it besides the Cutthroat Research. And there's no Yeah, no Kichi. So definitely a tough spot here for Kveld with gued being on check. We do have the tax for +1 from the Iron Obelisk, but with the QMEX and stuff in Archives too, one of those QMEX we know has Capture Pip on it as well. Uh, this is going to be tough for Kveld to come back from, I think. There's a lot of stalling they can do, but they also need to get into check sometimes very soon here. But even in Logos, they can just gued can just play one of those opposition research. We do see a disc call. Mark is cycled back in, so we do see the Mark back into Brobnar, which might just spell the end of the game here. That's really brutal. Really good redraw there for gued. Because we know this Brobnar, the only amber control you have basically is that Iron Obelisk, and you can do some fighting this turn. But probably not enough to get. Yeah, all they have to do is get to 9 here. Or destroy one of the Brobnar creatures. And these can't successfully fight in here to get damage on them, so... Oh, and the remote access gets purged too. So there was a small chance, well, I guess now, because you couldn't go into Logos anyways. Oh, brutal end there. Yeah, good game to both. That was... Man, that turned so fast. There was just the one turn. I mean, obviously at the beginning we said missing that Omega on the gateway definitely hurt. But like at this point in the game, after that, I don't know, where was it? The fair game, it really seemed like this was in Kveld's favor. And then the turn after that, the momentum just swung so fast back into gued's side with the Mark of Dis, and then again redrawing that really soon afterwards. And then, yeah, Kveld just getting forced into doing several Brobnar turns in a row there that were just not enough momentum. So awesome games. Good job to both. That is unfortunately Kveld knocked out of B group. I haven't looked at the other groups to see what's going on there. We can maybe do that really quick here, but we do see this deck again. No idea what the name actually is. Taking down Felipe and Kveld there.